caught red-handed, Mr. Sakharin. Let's see how you explain this when I return tomorrow with the Thompsons. This case reads the unicorn.
Hey everyone, Tony here from the Classic League Gaming and Electronic Podcast, bringing you another game review. Today I'm reviewing The Adventures of TinTin, Secret of the Unicorn for iPhone and iPad. Now this game is published and developed by Gameloft. Now if you're unfamiliar with TinTin, let me tell you a little bit about the story. He's a young Belgian reporter who solves cases and gets to the bottom of suspicious activities and mysteries. He does this with a combination of wit, humor, and a little help from his sidekick dog Snowy and other friends. Now, this is an old comic strip series that's coming to a remade feature film in late December 2011, so about a week or so. And most movie-to-game adaptations are not great. So let's take a look at this one and see if it changes the trend. I'm going to start a little bit different and focus on graphics, sound, and controls, then move to the gameplay aspect. So, first of all, with graphics, this game is surprisingly stunning in the graphical department. I would venture to say it's one of Gameloft's best looking titles. There's great polish to the characters and levels, and this being an old comic strip, it actually gives you that vintage feel with a modern twist, which is really cool. More importantly, this game does not hiccup as much in the graphics area when it's in motion, as is the tendency of a lot of graphical intensive iOS titles. As far as controls go, the controls were another strong point of this game. Even though this is designed as a 3D platformer, it's very simplistic in the controls department, and that's a good thing. You move with the left thumbstick, and you do not have a right thumbstick because the camera angles are not present. They're preset, so you don't have the ability to look around freely. The camera controls itself. And sometimes that can be a bad thing, but in this game it's a really, really good thing. I've played a lot of 3D titles for iOS platform, and they typically do not function well in the control department, at least not to the point of being polished. TinTin is very different because the camera angles were done so well. Now, there's a lot of interactivity, tapping hot points on levels, a sneaking button, a sprinting button, and they all work very well. As far as the sound goes, very good mystery type soundtrack. Music and sound feel like they were taken from the mystery shows I watched as a kid, and they should feel that way in a game like TinTin. There's decent voice acting as well, and I was pretty impressed that they even included voice acting. As far as the gameplay is concerned, it's presented in a very cinematic fashion. There's antique comic book cutscenes between levels, cinematic scenes in and out of the live gameplay that transition very seamlessly. Both of these are central to your experience of the game. This is not a high-octane action title. It instead moves as a mystery, as a slower pace. There's a combination of thinking, puzzle solving, and patience, and it all works in the cinematic 3D presentation to kind of draw you in. My only complaint in this title is that it just feels a bit too linear for me. I love the idea of a mystery, but it always felt like this one was kind of walking me through the game instead of letting me discover on my own what I needed to do next. It wasn't horrible in that department, it was just one of my small minor complaints. It's still a very unique gameplay experience, but I wanted a bit more of a challenge. In conclusion, despite the somewhat linear gameplay experience, I still could not put The Adventures of TinTin down, and it kept drawing me back for more. The game is simply beautiful with great controls and a soundtrack. Combine that with cinematic gameplay, and I think you're going to enjoy the ride this one gives you. You can pick up The Adventures of TinTin in the App Store today for $6.99. Check it out now.
Yes, excuse my intrusion. Please, good night.
Nestor, accompany our friend to the gates of the estate, and don't forget to close that second-floor window. I don't want any more visitors this evening.
Yes, Master. First, buy a window for the second floor, and then close it. Yes, Master.
Good night, Mr. TinTin.